Really a review. It was like I sent in like a email like, hey, my Airbnb host died. No one can cancel their reservations. And we were just kind of like,
That's horrible.
But like being in Brussels was amazing though.
Yeah.
Like the buildings are amazing, the bubbles are amazing.
You've been there too?
Yeah,
There's
loads
loads
of
of
New Year's
chocolates.
Eve.
New Year's
Yeah.
Eve.
Oh,
Amazing.
amazing.
They don't have fireworks because of they're afraid of the terrorist attacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I remember
I was
reading
so
about that.
surprised. I remember it was like
We have so
for
many
me. I was
fireworks.
already like drunk and we were waiting in the club and we
Yeah.
were like celebrating New Year's
Yeah.
Eve like midnight. Everyone cheering. And then I was like, hey, where are the fireworks? And everyone was like, dude, there's no fireworks, like terrorist attacks. I'm like, what? So it was so unusual.
You've
for
been
me.
traveling a lot for New Year's Eve, right?
I have my tradition to travel for the New Year's Eve.
Oh, that's
Really?
so cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Oh, I love
because
that. Tell us
was
about it.
I was always annoyed that people are trying to organize something for the New Year's Eve and they're like telling the stories in October that of course we're gonna make a house party in my place, or oh, there is a nice party, we can all go.
Yeah.
And then December comes, everyone's like, oh, Christmas, and like nobody's
Yeah,
planning.
they forgot about it.
New Year's
Yeah.
Eve. And for me, it's some new opportunity to travel. It's like experiencing new cultures.
Yeah, but also it's like so interesting to see like different traditions.
And it's a big party everywhere.
But are you gonna stay in Iceland for Christmas then?
Yeah.
No,
for
New
the New
Year's?
Year's Eve,
Because you're already like traveling, like you're already in a new place.
It's kind of a new place
Yeah.
for me, and I've heard
But
that
also
the
like
fireworks
by the
here-
church is amazing. The fireworks are amazing.
Yeah, that's
so,
why I wanted to stay here and see how it is.
Yeah,
And,
so
and where have you been like for the New Year's?
Oh, I've been last year. I was visiting my friend in Brussels. She's from India,
In
by the way.
Brussels,
Oh my
yeah.
god, amazing
Oh, really?
person.
Nice.
Yeah, but we met in Poland and Krakow.
Poland?
So I was visiting her, and we already planned it like 6 months before. I booked the tickets, and we knew that we're gonna meet.
Nice.
So for me, it's like, okay, I just pick up the destination that I just want to go, or maybe some friends who I want to visit, and they're doing cool things during the New Year's Eve.
yeah.
So let's just see how it works. Or I just go for myself with just me. So I went 2 years ago to Prague. Oh my god, it was amazing.
Wow. How do you like Prague?
Did you see any friends there or?
No,
Did you
I
make any
met
friends?
so many people.
Yeah.
I met so many new people.
I have
Do you
few friends
still,
who
do you
live
still
there.
have contact with some or what?
Oh yeah, of course. I still have
Nice.
some contact with some,
That's
at least
nice.
2 or 3 people, and
Nice.
it turned out when I arrived, because it was more than just New Year's Eve night. It was like 7 days altogether. So I was also saving some money, and then I told my parents like, yeah, I'm going for the New Year's Eve to Prague, and they're like, oh, are you visiting someone? I'm like, not really. Like there's maybe one friend who might be in the city, but I'm not relying on her. So I'll see how it goes. And then it turned out that I booked some cheap Airbnb, but it was somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
It was
no.
really far from the downtown for the main square. But I took amazing tram rides. They have super fast trams, actually. Like
Oh, trams, yeah, okay.
you buy super
Oh, like
cheap
drums. Sorry.
trams.
I took some drums and I just went You have amazing drums.
Yeah,
Sorry, continue.
that could be me though.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
I
it
can
took
see
me
that.
like
You with the drums
40
and-
minutes every day, but I visited so many nice places and areas, like Visegrad, I totally recommend it. Or it's really far away from the city center because the main square is so crowded in Prague. It's like kind of old town in Krakow because they are very similar, those 2 cities. So for me it wasn't something really exciting. So I was like, okay, I'm on my own. I went to the museum because there is Klimt exhibition as well.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed my time really, and then I found out some nice party, and then the after party,
Oh, after party.
and
so
met
cool
some
that
people
you-
from Berlin, and then I went to Berlin and I met them again.
Oh, wow, really?
Nice.
I think it's so I get so inspired. It's so fascinating that you can just do that. Because I would be so worried. I would be like, what if I don't find something? What if I don't meet
I
anyone? What if I'm
know.
just alone? And then it's like
It's always like
midnight.
a
I'm
party.
like, okay, happy New Year.
I love going somewhere like alone. Like,
Yeah, it's so like.
I kind of
inspiring.
miss it again. Like
yeah,
it's
like you.
just 2 months since I came here on my own. But
Yeah.
I already miss it. I feel like I have some people here
You
already.
you're
And
like,
I'm like, I want to
But you're going soon in January.
Yeah, I
no?
hope so.
Going
yeah, we are
where?
still planning it.
A super big trip.
Actually, I didn't plan it like a big
Whoa.
trip. I wanted it to be 7 to 10 days.
But I mean, it's a big trip because it's far away.
I
So
didn't
we're
expect
thinking-
that as well because we are planning to go to Florida with my friend.
Oh.
But I never been in the States, so the flights are really cheap.
Really cheap.
Yeah, they're really cheap.
To
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Is that with vowels?
No, it was like Icelander.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't expect that, but we, like me and my friend, we both want to go. She might have a place to stay over there. So we are kind of, and you know, like 2 days ago I opened the newspaper. I think it was National Geographic Traveler. And then I open it and the first page says places in the US that you must visit, and obviously like Florida, Orlando, and Arizona. And then I met a girl from Arizona, and then I was planning the trip to Florida. It's like so funny that you start combining those two.
Yeah,
Of
it's
course.
Plenty.
There's always more wine.
I've only been abroad like for New Year's with my family. We were in Australia. with my
Where
whole
in
family.
Australia?
We were going on like several places. We started in Brisbane, then we went south. We went to Fraser Island,
Yeah,
and then we went to Byron Bay.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Then we went to kind of a small city. No, it's not small, but it's like not as famous. It's
Yeah.
called Coffs Harbour.
Coffs Harbour.
It's because
okay.
my mom knows a family there.
Oh, yeah,
We
okay.
stayed at their place.
Yeah.
We went out to some farm and lived there for a couple of nights. It was really
Nice.
amazing. It was like with sheep and
They're
alpacas.
amazing.
It was such a beautiful
Nature,
land.
Alpacas, wow, nice.
Yeah, and then we went to Sydney
Have you
last
been
week.
to Melbourne?
Yeah, I was gonna
No.
say Melbourne. Have you been
No,
to
we
Melbourne?
didn't go all the
Not
way.
yet.
Oh, I was there for New Year's,
Wow.
2000 and... Fuck, what? 2015, 2016?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know, I had like the goal for like half a year. I was like, I want to go, like, I wanted to go back to New Zealand. And I was
Oh,
like,
yes.
and because
go
I
there
was
so
there,
bad.
I was
I
there
wanna
as
move
some,
there.
yeah, it's beautiful. I was there as an exchange student, and when I was traveling, oh, it's so nice. When I was traveling in the summer of 2019, I was in Cinque Terre in Italy,
Mm-hmm.
and I was with my family. You know, my grandma's 60, she was 60 years old, and we like went there with her, and like we were hiking and like just traveling for 2 weeks, and we sat down at one cafe, and there were two girls. Sitting on one table, like charging their phones with their backpacks, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to do that!
Nice.
Like, I want to go backpacking."
Yeah.
And then I bought something to drink, and I was like, "Screw it!" I just took my drink, I just sat on the table, like, "Hey guys,
Oh,
so what's up?"
nice.
Like, "Where are you guys from? What are you doing?"
But you were with your family.
I was with my
like,
family. I was
yeah.
like, "Hey, sorry, family." I just did stuff. I was like,
fine.
"You."
Fine.
Yeah.
I have
forgive you.
more cool things to do.
No, I was like, you'll understand. And like, they do. They
Yeah.
do, always. And I went there, and one girl was actually from the States, if I remember correctly. And one was from Melbourne, in Australia. And I was like, shit, I always wanted to go there. And she was telling me about the place, and I was like, nice. Sounds good. And then, maybe 1 month or 2 months later, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to New Zealand next year. And I was on this app called Backpackr, I think. And I met up with a girl in Scotland, like on this app. Like I connected to her because she was gonna go to Melbourne as well on New Year's. She was like, "Yeah, I heard it's nice." I was like, "Cool, okay.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I should go on New Year's."
Yeah.
And like she didn't go there on New Year's. She had to cancel a trip, and I was like, "Screw it! Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there. Like
Yeah,
it sounds good."
That's such a good thing. Like,
Yeah.
whenever something happens, like, you just find motivation to go on your own, and that's the moment when the fun starts.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, like, somebody just missed a cool trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly, I put like on my wall, I wrote down like Melbourne,
Yeah.
New Year's,
Wow.
and like, and it was like a goal. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, and I made it happen.
Was
it
that
was
your
so
first
cool.
first trip alone, or like big trip alone? Like backpacking trip, or how to say?
I did, yeah, kind of. Like I didn't really know what to expect. Like there was a lot of things I was like going through and learning about and stuff like that. And I just had this on my wall. I was like, I was sick and tired.
Exactly.
I was sick of just working and shit. And I was like, screw it. And my dad was like, dude,
What are you doing?
yeah, like,
Are you
bro,
sure about
yeah, like, and like I understand that. And then when I went there, I was like, Oh, on the way there, I was... Oh, shit, because you were talking about staying on airports before. And I was traveling through Beijing, I think.
I've been there too.
Yeah.
Airport.
And, like, I was like, cool. I got, like, 11 hours. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna go see the wall, like, the big wall of China, like, what else? And I was, like, booking a tour there. And then I landed. And we had, like, a huge line to get, like, the 72-hour visa.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the queue
It
didn't.
was just not.
It was not moving. We were like, what the fuck? And there was this one staff member that didn't speak much English, that was walking like up all the line, and he was like, "I see ticket." You're like, "Oh, okay." Like you showed them the ticket. He was like, "Oh, 12 hours visa, yes."
Yeah.
Not 12 hours visa, no. And we were like, what? And like, so I could stay here for 11 hours? He was like, yes. And then he went to the next one. I was like, fuck. And I met this Dutch guy. And I was like, oh, are you going to Melbourne? He was like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Okay. We shared also the plane from Paris, I think. And we just found a really cool Asian, of course Asian, restaurant on the airport.
Yeah.
And had some delicious meal. Oh my god, it was so good. And like because we saw a lot of Asian people eating there, we were like, okay, this must be good. You know, go with the locals go.
Yeah,
but
of course.
like Asia is a continent, I know, but like you were like, okay, I feel better about this than like McDonald's or whatever. And then we walked around trying to find an ATM. There was none.
No.
Then I was like, what the fuck? Like I was
So
gonna.
you stayed in the airport. You didn't.
I
go-
stayed in the airport
Yeah.
and I was gonna try to. I had some cash in euros, I think. I was gonna try to like exchange it to like. I don't remember what they have. Chinese
Yen?
something?
No.
No,
Japan.
yen is Japan.
Okay.
It's like yum or something. Oh, sorry, I don't remember. It was like it's called something like short and anything. Anyway, and I had to like sign like a 3-page form or something to exchange like a 50 euros. I was like, what the hell? Like, and like something didn't work out, and I was like, what? So yeah, like I was like, oh, I can't change it. Like what the hell? Like I don't remember why. So I used my card, and I couldn't use the internet for some reason. And then I went to buy internet, and when I bought it, I realized like I couldn't log into any social media because freaking social media is blocked.
Yeah, because it's a.
I was like,
It's China.
the government. Yeah, you're in China. I was like,
What's
what?
Like a dictature? It's called that.
Dictatorships. Like,
Dictator.
yeah, it's like they.
I wish they had like
They blocked
this
that shit.
like diplomatic spot like in the airport
Yeah,
where you
I
can
know.
It should be because it's an international.
I know.
Ground.
I was there, and the only thing that worked was WhatsApp, and I don't use WhatsApp, and nobody I know use WhatsApp. I was like, I had like 2 contacts. I was like, hello, like for 11 hours. I was like, okay, let's chat. Like,
What's up with you?
Yeah.
You could have probably chatted on Sling.
probably, but so and then the only thing that me and this guy from Amsterdam, I think he's from, we found a bar. Honestly, we were drinking some cheap like rice beer. It was honestly like.
So authentic.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, 20 cents, like euro cents, one beer,
Wow.
and I was like, ka-ching, ka-ching,
Yeah.
just using my card, like,
You got fucking wasted.
yeah, pretty much, and we were just sitting there,
Same like soccer.
and like it was like really similar, for 7 hours in the bar, just drinking and chatting to all the people who came there, and like it was awesome because
Yeah.
they were all like, oh shit, I can't leave the airport. I was like, welcome to the club, like, you know, and they're like we were like 7 or 8 people. It was like, oh, it was
Nice.
cool. And then we went back, and there was like free alcohol on the airplane, and it was nice. It was really nice. But Melbourne New Year's is beautiful. Recommend it.
Oh my god. I had a connection flight via Hong Kong,
Ooh.
and it was not like that. It was very nice. Their
Okay.
airport is very nice.
It's more international maybe.
Yeah, we didn't
Probably.
leave the airport, but it was actually like we had no problem, I think, with the social media.
But
Not
I
that
had a
remember.
really weird experience on Beijing airport. Because when we flew to Australia, we landed there both times, like back and forth,
Yeah. Oh
for
wow.
8 hours both times, like with my whole family.
Mm.
It was just a really strange experience because like we also stayed in the airport.
Yeah.
We went to Pizza Hut to have lunch or something, and there was like weird service. Like first there was like 5 people in the entrance who showed us to the table, and then we sat there. And no one came and took our orders. We were sitting there for like 15 minutes, and then one person came and took our orders. And my sister, she doesn't like cheese, so she wanted to have pizza without cheese. And they didn't really understand. She was like, no cheese, no small, like little cheese, like no cheese. And they were like, extra cheese?
Oh no!
No cheese. And they were pointing at the menu with like cheese in the crust. And she was like, no cheese.
Shit,
and they were like, yeah, they didn't understand. And she got cheese on her pizza at the end. So and then they went away. Then they came with like a cutlery and like threw it on the table like this. We were like,
they threw it.
Yes.
Wow, that's weird.
And then when they came with the pizzas, there was also like one person who brought 5 pizzas. In the beginning, there were 5 people showing us to the table. There was just one person who was serving, and they put down the pizza in one spot, and we had to like figure out whose it was, and they put down the next pizza in the same spot. Just
really?
Like, hey. Yeah, but it was kind of nice. We found a place where you could draw with really cool, some Chinese paint. There was like, you took one dip in the paint, and the brush, it never, like, the paint never, like, went away. No, it was like, we could draw, like, for so long, and it never finished. We were like, wow,
in
so
Beijing.
amazed. Yeah, in Beijing. They had,
I
like,
think I was only in like a one terminal. We figured that out like afterwards. We're like, oh shit, we could have gone to all the terminals. Like,
yeah, it was kind of big. But it feels like also like there were so many people, like kind of spies, like walking around. They were dressed as like cleaning staff. They were just walking around like watching. Like, I don't know. It was strange, but it was interesting.
Yeah, like it's weird. I really wanted to spend.
It's a really different culture. It's like yeah,
fishing. Yeah, I wanna go spend more time at Singapore airport. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Airport.
Yeah, because
exactly.
I've heard so many. They have like a butterfly garden. They have like
Exactly. Oh my God,
they have this like crazy
But
shit
by the
all
way,
around.
Guys, I'm googling this airport.
In Singapore they have a few airports, but this one is the biggest one, the main one.
You don't want
I
to go
was
to the
just
actual
talking
city?
to my boyfriend about this because like the Traveler, the National Geographic Traveler, the last how do you call it? Not episode for the newspaper.
Yeah,
Magazine?
Number.
Magazine number. Yeah, kind of.
And the last,
So in the last number.
the last
they were-
edition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh. They were talking about the best airports all around the world, divided by different
It's currently rated the
facilities.
world's best airport.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Singapore
one.
airport.
Can you see the pictures?
Yeah. Looks good.
But it's so different from airport to airport. My brother also told me, and like he was with his girlfriend, and they were traveling back to Sweden, and they were landing in Kiev, in Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
No.
And they also spent like 8 or 7 hours there.
Yeah.
And they had like nothing. They were there was one store with all the like standard candy and alcohol stuff. That's in every like duty
Before
free.
you finish the wine
Yeah.
and the beer.
Cheers.
Or maybe let's all do it together. Okay. Skål. And continue.
Yeah, there were 3 stores, but they all had the same selection. There was one big store with alcohol and candy, those airport stuff. And the next store was the same stuff but just smaller. And the third store was also the same stuff.
Nice.
So, and then there was a huge hall with just seats, like a huge hall, and it was kind of tin like walls, and it was in middle of the winter, so it was fucking freezing in there. It was like being outside. They had like a tin roof and really bad construction, and they spent 7 hours there or something. There was absolutely nothing to do.
And that was the airport.
Yes.
On my way.
Oh crap!
On my way to Croatia, like the thing is that we're so used to like such a good airport with Keflavik airport.
Yeah, it's quite
always
nice.
open.
Yeah.
But on my way to Split, I had a connection flight in Genf.
Okay.
Where's that?
In
Geneva.
Yeah. So basically everything was closed.
Yeah.
Like everything, you couldn't get any food at all. There were no benches or chairs to try to sleep. And this was like, we arrived like in the middle of the night almost.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to checked out, we found, what was it, was it a McDonald's or Burger King? Anyway, it was like a 30-minute walk at least.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And we were just like, we are fucking starving.
Mm-hmm.
There's no place for us to sleep here. We're gonna walk.
Yeah.
We're going for it. And we went and we like got us
hunting.
some food.
How long was the wait?
The wait was like, the thing is that we arrived late in the evening. I think it was like around 11 or 12, like midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And our next flight was like 7 in the morning, so we couldn't check in until like 5 or something.
Yeah, sure.
So we had like the whole night just like spent absolutely nowhere. There were no seats.
But that's
That
so
was the
strange because I
worst.
feel like airports. It's like
Should
the one.
have
It's the one
seats.
place where it's the same. Like it's like 24/7. It's the same amount of people. It's like the same life. Like
It's not the
people
same
are
amount
awake,
of people,
are
but
eating,
like
people
should
are
be the
like
same life. Yeah.
yeah. It's like always alive there.
Yeah. It's like,
Like
it doesn't matter what
anytime.
hour you can have beer, breakfast, and dinner.
You can go there 3 a.m. and it's dead. Like if you're coming from the
Yeah.
city and it's completely dead, everyone's sleeping. Then you go to the airport and everyone's like rushing and like it's like being in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So it should be
Exactly.
open.
It should be open,
always.
but of course we were in like Geneva, so
Yeah.
it was a very small airport, and
Maybe it's not worth it for them to
and
like.
it was
Depends on when the flights are going through.
yeah,
And
you know,
also if it's so small, like if it's not so many connection flights there, it's
it was
maybe not
also
worth
just so
it.
bad because I had like broken up with someone like the day before,
oh
and I was just like I hadn't had any sleep, and
yeah.
I was just like either. I was most of the time just crying or just like
Man.
staring. But
Drumming.
But that McDonald's was probably the best McDonald's that I've had in my life because we were fucking starving.
Mm.
McDonald's is also very different across the world.
Yeah.
The quality of it. Let me
Yeah.
Like in Sweden, I would say it's pretty good. We have like a lot of different selection. Like it's kind of like fresh, or not fresh, but you know, it's okay. But then when you just go to Denmark, I was there a few years ago at McDonald's. They didn't have any vegetarian
Come on,
burger.
but you guys are very prejudiced when it comes to Denmark.
I love Denmark.
Swedes and Danish people are like,
I
yeah,
like Denmark.
I'm trying my best.
like we have it really
Yeah.
good, but
Okay.
Denmark. It's always like no.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm going to Sweden next week, and
know.
I'm like,
You can try the McDonald's there. You can try the one in Denmark. You can compare it. Because I'm just saying, we've had a vegetarian burger for all my life, like 20 years, something. We have like or at least in Denmark they didn't have any vegetarian burger.
Maybe they were cheating on you back in Sweden.
Yeah, it's vegetarian. It's just chicken. Yeah, I'm like what?
No, but you mean like I just
Yeah.
expect like most places have a veggie burger. It's a bean
Yeah.
burger, anything, a vegan burger, something.
Burger
Wow.
King
Vegan
has
burger.
it in Copenhagen.
Yes, maybe they have. I was in Denmark eating McDonald's
Don't think KFC
a few
has
years ago. It was maybe like
Yeah.
7 years ago. So
Maybe
they have upgraded, but
You know,
still.
I'll give you an update next week.
But also
Yeah.
in France, in France they didn't have any vegetarian burgers. They had some salads, like pasta salad.
Oh, those salads are nasty.
I think I thought it was fine. I ate it.
It's like I went to McDonald's to have a salad.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. Like I was expecting a burger, but I had that salad quite a few times. It was fine. It was like arugula,
Like
mozzarella.
I've
Yeah.
never eaten a burger in McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
I love
that is
burgers.
rare.
Because my father, he got once really sick after eating there.
Oh, yeah.
And since that time, we didn't go there. Like,
No,
never. I
The
don't
meat is
remember.
shady. You know, guys, they quit. Like they closed their stores in Iceland just because they denied using Icelandic meat.
Oh, that was
Yes and no. Like, I mean, like, because their model was like they imported most of the stuff
Yeah.
from America, and in the economical crash, like the dollar doubled,
Yeah.
so all the things were double price, and they were like,
Yeah.
well,
No one.
So they could have turned to Icelandic things, but like
Yeah.
I don't actually know the
But
whole
I thought-
backstory.
I
But
thought
so yeah,
it-
basically we don't have any McDonald's in
No,
Iceland.
that's strange.
But we have
That's
Icelandic
true.
metro, and it's basically McDonald's.
You have you have like
It's
the
shit.
You have the similar.
They have nice
thing.
fries. It's shit.
We used to have Burger King as well, but we don't anymore.
Oh, we had Burger King.
Yeah, it was an Outtoon. On like
yes,
the M1
I think I
place.
remember.
But at least you
Yeah.
have Subway and Domino's, right?
Domino's.
Yeah.
We have the best Domino's in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, I'm telling you
But
guys.
like one thing, like
Oh,
I,
really?
vegetarian and
I've
vegan
never tried it
options.
here.
Really?
I
It
tried
has
it
some
once.
vegan options.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Like the Domino's here. Like I've tried Domino's in like Spain, England, I don't know, New Zealand, Australia, Italy.
Really? We
Uh,
don't have it in Sweden. Like, that's why I basically
Yeah.
never tried it.
You don't have Domino's in
Domino's,
Sweden. Wow.
Wow.
Well, but okay, so Iceland is the best one, and it's also by far the most expensive
Oh,
one.
holy fuck, it's so expensive.
In New Zealand, you could buy
It's
like
like, you know, it shouldn't be like, oh, should I order a pizza? It's like, you know,
you had a fancy meal.
yeah, it's
Can I
like kind
afford
of like, it's kind of like, Domino's should be like, oh yeah, I'm having a list day, you know, I
Yeah.
gotta order pizza, whatever, it's fast food. It's,
Yeah.
You know, for us it's like, checking balance, do I have enough?
Yeah.
Okay, do I want to weigh 6,000 kroner? No.
Let's take a loan.
Oh my god.
Mom, can you transfer me?
Yeah.
Need to
Like,
borrow.
And also, like, it should be like the thing that you eat, like these crap foods should be the thing that you eat when you don't, like, in the end of the month.
Yeah,
when
when you
you're
don't
like
have any
struggling.
money.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you can't afford Domino's. And
No,
then, like,
that's
the last 2
expensive.
weeks of the month.
So like the Domino's pizza, like the medium size is kind of the size of this plate
Yeah.
almost,
That's like 2,000.
and it's in Iceland it's like 2,000. So it's, let's say this in like
Okay,
euros.
I have like
The app.
the app.
They have an app, guys. That's nice. But like
Okay.
while you're checking that, just medium
you-
size, like something pepperoni
But
pizza,
you still
whatever.
can't afford it, even
Like
if you have an
the-
app. You can just
like,
scroll
not
through
the margarita,
menu
but
and
some of the
dream
other
about
ones.
Okay,
it.
so just let's say, you know, Domino's classic.
Classic. It's a classic, guys. It's a
Okay,
classic.
no, it's
Margarita.
pretty cheap actually. Let's take a look at something.
The medium, no, just
No,
something.
but the medium size is somewhere between 2,800 up
What?
to 3,300.
So
Which is like 30
this
euros
size
or-
of a freaking pizza is like 23 euros.
Yeah.
Something like that. 20 euros to 23 euros. 20 euros. Let's say, yeah, 20
It
is
might be-
2,800.
That sounds so
it might
ridiculous.
be like
20 euros is
In
2,800
Poland,
kronas.
it's 23 zloty.
Yeah, it's like, I remember.
23 euros, 24
Yeah.
euros, yeah.
And in New Zealand, you could get this, like, it was like, they had a special, I remember it, because me and my friend had it sometimes, a few times. It was like $5 New Zealand dollars. That is like, I could have 5 of those in
Yeah.
New Zealand, except for the one in Iceland.
Oh my god.
5
And we're talking about, that's like
times.
the medium size.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
medium size.
You
And,
know.
but I noticed, like, they tasted good, but it was like a really nice frozen pizza, you know? You buy like a good frozen pizza,
Yeah.
and you heat it up, and you're like, fuck, that's good. That was Domino's in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like,
But in Iceland, it's
respect, guys. Yeah, in Iceland, it's like you're getting like good ingredients.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like the Italian.
But come on.
So it's not really like
That's
trash,
not worth
like
its
fast
price.
food.
It's way cheaper to make it your
A
own.
big pizza is 3,800.
Oh my god, that's like
No.
eating out in a fancy restaurant.
It's,
Yeah.
you could go to Icelander, for example.
yeah,
I
We
love
love-
Icelander.
Indian food, right?
Yeah, and you could get like a meal and an extra dose of garlic naan.
Nice.
But
I
like,
love
no,
it.
it's actually pretty like, if you would go like fancy out for dinner, a main course would be something between 6,000 and 8,000, 9,000
Wow,
in
that's
Iceland.
fucking expensive.
But the minimum salary here in Iceland, they just raised it, and it's like, what is it, like 2,600 euros a month, 2,500 euros a month. That's like around the minimum salary
Yeah.
for a
So we
full-time
actually
job.
get very well paid, but we do have to pay rent.
Yeah, the rent here is
Expensive.
crazy. Oh my
Crazy.
god, crazy.
But it's, I feel like
and
it's
everywhere.
the same in
Yeah.
like all the capitals, like, especially all the capitals in the big cities.
Mm.
Because everyone wants to move there. It's a huge competition between the apartments.
It's basically like people are moving a lot from the countryside to the capital cities, we're increasing in population in the whole
So-
world.
Because it's the same in
Yeah.
Stockholm. It's about the same price.
It's
The-
basically
in Stockholm.
the same is happening in all the, like you said,
London,
capitals
like
and stuff
Paris.
like that. Yeah.
I could just dream of having an
Like a
apartment
good
there.
room, like my room. I think we're actually our rent is pretty like cheap compared to a lot of places, but I pay like
This
720 euros per month.
here?
Like 100,000 kronas.
Yeah.
We are pretty cheap.
We pay because we share 3 people,
Yeah.
so it's like
Yeah, it's always better. Like every
650
person
euros.
that you add to the thing,
Mhm.
we are only 2, so if you add a third person, it's just
Yeah, it would be great. But where would that person sleep?
No.
It's like in the
Bathroom.
bathroom, yeah, it's like
obviously,
in
yeah,
the
but
huge
you guys-
bathtub, like
least-
sitting down.
At least you have doors there, but you know.
Oh, you guys, you didn't even know about our laundry room? No. But
Like rats live in there. Nice.
Oh,
But you
what?
guys are though you don't have a living room. Like you use the living room
Yeah.
as a bedroom.
Yep.
So
Ah,
that's
okay, yeah.
your way to
Yeah.
make it cheaper.
Yeah.
Which is totally worth it.
That's the way, like,
Yeah.
so many
According
people
to
are
me.
getting away with, like, living.
Yeah,
in Iceland,
yeah,
like,
Exactly.
it's been
I
crazy.
mean, I feel privileged that actually it's not more than this for
Mhm.
this place.
And also the location is great.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Oh, it's
So
great.
for you guys
Yeah.
that don't know, I live very, very downtown.
Oh.
Very cozy apartment. Also.
Actually, it is.
We
Actually,
can give you a
it is.
tour.
Yeah.
So here's my bathtub.
It's
Very
only
luxurious.
half size, but you know.
But
Like-
the bathtub is awesome. So,
The
yeah,
bathtub
I
is the
remember when we were
best.
trying to fit in there.
It looks like it looks like a children's bathtub.
It's like
very nice.
it's like yeah, you know, like the normal sized bathtub,
That's like half of it.
on
Yeah.
the length. Like this bathtub is like half of that.
I would say-
And
to
also there's a
shower.
seat in it, so
Yeah.
it's like only 3/4 of a half a bath.
Yeah.
It's like it's so funny. Like it's really funny.
And
I
you
loved
know,
it.
you guys, I'm like
20 years old.
Fuck you. I'm 159 centimeters. Like I'm not very tall, but I had to really like find a position to be comfortable. And by that, you know, it was comfortable when the water was like up high. But of course, there's like this drain on the side to
Yeah.
make sure that it wouldn't like overflow.
Overflow, yeah.
So that drain took out like some water, and I was like,
Ah.
no.
Please stay. You have to keep the water running.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, but I miss a proper bath tube in our apartment.
Mhm.
I really like taking the
Well, you can go
long
to the Blue
baths.
Lagoon,
Yeah, but
right?
here-
Yeah, that's true. But the thing
Yeah.
is that I
She
was
works at
talking
the
to-
Blue Lagoon.
I was.
yeah, this is not an actual problem.
And
No.
by the way, because 2 of my friends they cannot go on Friday to the Blue Lagoon with us. Like Svenja cannot go, and
Okay.
Adam is working.
So it's
And
just me and Victor, or
Victor is also working some.
so it's just me.
You know, guys, I'll just get a day off and come.
But
Yeah,
what
why don't you
time?
do
I
it?
wish I could. I'll check.
On
What
Friday.
what time are we going?
Okay. Anyways,
Well,
we
the
don't have
lagoon
to
is
come.
open quite long, like until 9:30.
But we have a
PM.
party at our place.
Yeah,
and
I
exactly.
wasn't invited.
So we have to go in the day, like in the.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But this is a
Before
way
lunch.
to like get invited. You're like, oh, you're missing people.
I can go.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You're more than welcome. I still can take like 2 more people.
But
So-
if we're like finish our shifts early.
What time?
Yeah, I was
Have we
planning to
decided?
go actually around noon.
Around moon.
Around
You
noon.
know, I have an
Midnight.
extra. Okay, why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
Let's go back to.
Let's talk about this after the.
Yes.
I thought you can cut it.
I can cut it, but I can also include it. Like
Yeah.
it's cool. You see, like
Hey, can I ask
just
you, how
friends.
was the wine and where's it from? I hate wine, like I don't like wine, but I just.
I've no idea. It looks like it's from France.
It's very good, actually.
It's,
I might have had.
I have
like a glass too
I have
many.
very bad experience
Par-
with red wine.
Pardon my friends, but it's Vin de Bordeaux or something. I don't know.
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. That's
Oh,
Oh,
right.
actually,
my
my
Chateau.
friend's family is
Chateau.
from Bordeaux.
It's,
Yeah, are they?
Yes.
It's a 2016
Half
cheap
French.
wine that I bought at the airport, so it was even cheaper. Why not, you know?
What airport? We are talking so much about airports.
Oh, the Icelandic one.
Okay.
Keflavik.
The Icelandic.
Keflavik.
The Icelandic, like
The Icelandic
there's only
International.
one.
The Icelandic
Oh, you guys,
International.
I feel
yeah.
so fancy. I have like red wine from 2014 here. I always see 2016.
Well, we just finished this one.
no, but like it's
Just saying.
Mine and my roommates. So I might have to find the cheapest one to replace it.
Yeah, just do that.
You know, but this one looks good.
When I went
Trivento. Malbec. I love that. It's nice.
Oh, but, so we're officially opening a new bottle of wine.
Yeah. Anyways, so.
when
Sigrid.
I was in sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Tell us that. Oh no. First, tell us your name.
Sigrid.
Yeah. Hi.
Tell us
Nice
your
to meet you.
name.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. I did that. Yeah. Anyways, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Yes, my name is Sigrid. It's spelled Sigrid because everyone has so much
Your shoe size? No, just kidding.
38.
Guys, I
In Europe.
can't open this.
I'm from
Bring it.
Stockholm in Sweden.
Okay.
Do you need to bring a knife or something?
What is your background? What did you study in school? What's your job occupations?
I'm right now in my gap years still between if you would say high school and university.
Yeah,
3 years of high school.
Me
and
too,
then,
but I've been there for no, I'm joking. I've only been there for 10
yeah,
years.
this is my second gap year from high school, and I'm probably gonna start studying.
Yeah, you guys
next
graduated so
fall.
early. I only graduated 1 year ago.
Yeah, but
Right.
I was also 1 year ahead in school.
Oh yeah, I keep
So I-
forgetting that.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm probably gonna start studying next fall, but I'm still on my
Yeah.
gap year, and I went to Iceland in the beginning of September
Yeah.
Is it?
What's up?
to try and work abroad and
Me too.
experience a new country and trying to just live here and work here and travel around the country.
Yeah.
Just I was getting a bit bored just being home and working, so I just wanted to try something.
What were you doing when you were working? In a supermarket, right?
Yeah, I worked for 3.5 years in a big supermarket since I was 16. I really loved
can
it in
open
some
it.
ways,
Yeah.
but I wanted to try something different.
And why did you choose Iceland?
I was actually between different countries. I was looking for jobs in Norway and Barcelona.
Oh.
I wanted to
That's a nice country.
stay in Europe just for convenience.
Yeah, Barcelona, a country.
Norway, Barcelona,
Catalonia.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's not officially a country, but
Okay, it's Spain.
Spain.
Yes, I'm sorry. No, but I wanted to stay somewhere in Europe to just because it's more convenient when you're moving and it's easier. How's it going?
I can't do this. I'm sorry. Oh my god. For you,
Oh no!
viewers,
Bro.
I broke the.
Cork.
Sorry.
Well, continue.
Yeah.
Can I just do
And
this?
you,
Or no, I'm not doing this. Sorry about the interruption.
I'll try to rescue the wine here, guys. Continue.
Yeah, Iceland was partly because I've always, for many years, I've had a really, I've always wanted to go here because I listened to some Icelandic music. I really love the nature. Oh, great.
Yeah, the nature is awesome.
My grandparents have had Icelandic horses for all my life.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
2.
They
So
still
I've
have?
already- yeah, one left.
Oh, okay.
They're dying.
Yes, one
One
died.
left or one died?
Yeah, both. One died and they have one left.
Okay.
They need a new one. You can bring them one.
No, because it's only my grandmother's left, and I think my granddad is kind of too old. He doesn't really have the energy left to be riding. But anyway, I've always been fascinated. I really love mountains. I like to ski and I like to hike. I've been doing that in many different countries. So I just think it's a really fascinating country. I wanted to try it, and I really like it, and I really love it.
I mean, Iceland is really amazing, and it's so strange that the more I travel, the more I realize how special Iceland is.
Yes.
And
Yes. Thank you.
It's kind of, I still love traveling.
Yeah.
But it makes it more special when I'm home.
Yeah.
Then I appreciate it more because I'm it's only now this autumn that I started doing glaciers.
Yeah. Oh.
And they are unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I'm whenever I have a tourist, there's oh, what should I do in Iceland? I'm go on a glacier.
Yeah.
And they're are you serious? Yes. You're gonna be fucking amazed.
Don't go to the fucking Blue Lagoon. I'm sorry, but if you have to choose between a day in the Blue Lagoon and a day in the Blue
Blue Lagoon is
is-
definitely a
but
once in a lifetime experience, though.
Yeah, it's really
But
nice.
guys, it's out of comparison. One is a relaxing place, the other one is
Yeah.
more
Very
adventurous.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were gonna pick Golden Circle or Glacier Hike?
Yeah, glacier hike.
Oh.
Yeah.
both. I don't know. I can't choose. Like,
But you can go on like South Coast tours with a glacier hike included. Do that.
Yeah.
That's the best.
You know, those
But
are.
I think there's some amazing, easily accessible places
Yeah.
that are not included in the Golden Circle.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and that's kind of like
Reykjadalur is
Reykjadalur,
awesome.
and also
Did,
like
did you go to the river? Reykjadalur
Yeah,
river?
we took our friends there when they came over.
Oh, they are like,
Also, like-
yeah.
also like the beach, like Backpackr Beach is amazing.
Yeah,
and it's
that-
like if you just go on the Golden Circle, you like I don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
miss
there
out
is
on a
so
lot.
many things, and like just up in the north, the Miva and that
Yeah.
they are around there, and the Westfjords are amazing. The whole thing is amazing. If you were gonna enjoy Iceland, you would have to come here for a month.
Yeah, probably.
That's true.
I say a year.
Yeah.
Because you need the summer, you need the winter,
True.
Oh,
and you also
Yeah.
need to experience the freaking hardship and
Like this,
the spring and the autumn. You know, like
Like the presents, like weather depressions in
Yeah.
springs are brutal.
it's a whole year experience, guys. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
you-
think like I'm definitely coming back in the summer because now I will only be here for the winter.
You're leaving?
Yeah, I'm leaving like in the spring. Like I'm gonna
Oh.
go somewhere else.
But no,
Sorry.
in the summer you need to come on a glacier hike with me,
Yeah.
or like ice climbing.
Yeah, whenever I showed the pictures that you send me to my friends or to my
They're like,
parents.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, but that's the thing about Iceland. That's the only opportunity actually here to do it. Like,
Yeah.
because
It's so unique.
And
it's so unique. You
I
cannot
know,
do
like
it in
the-
Australia. They don't
like
have a
the
glacier.
ice climbing.
New Zealand.
In New Zealand, yeah.
But also like we have glaciers in Sweden, but they're not as spectacular. Like
Yeah.
they're not as big.
But
and
my
they're
friend,
nice.
is actually a glacier guide, that has been taking me on these glaciers. She's fucking amazing. I love her. She's from Australia.
Yeah.
Cool.
But with the glaciers, it's like it's like the glacier hike costs like maybe 10,000. The climbing tour is more extreme, costs like 20,000. But it still is gonna be worth it. Guys.
Yeah.
You know, that's always what I say to tourists. Like, don't spend your,
Don't buy souvenirs and like.
Yeah, because souvenirs in Iceland are also expensive. You know.
Yeah, of
yes.
course.
There's
You
one
can easily
whole-
spend 10,000 on
Yeah.
souvenirs,
Souvenirs.
like
No.
with some crappy
And
magnets on your
also,
fridge.
you can, for one night, you can buy like 8 beers or 7 beers for the same amount
Yeah.
as a glacier tour.
I know.
Yeah.
And you definitely want to go to the glacier tour, like.
Yes.
Rather than
But-
like
but
thinking
on the
about
other
that you
hand-
spend your money on fucking
I was
expensive
just
alcohol,
talking
my friend.
about this to my friend because we have an impression because like since I work in the Blue Lagoon I see how many people are coming and spending money senselessly. Like the waterproof
Yeah.
phone case, it costs 3,100 Icelandic krona. People are buying it
Wow.
every day. So anyways, I just realized that they are
Awkward.
just getting out of the bus, taking as many pictures as they can.
Mm-mm.
They are just enjoying
You
like
just think about social
holding a
media.
ticket. Yeah, and the first question that they ask is, am I allowed to take pictures inside? Like not, like about the context of this place,
No.
or they're not even interested what you are explaining to them. So it's super sad when you work in such a touristic place and you see people just senselessly following the crowd. They
Yeah.
paid, they booked the ticket, they don't even know where are they exactly, what they are there for.
Yeah.
Why they're
Like
there.
if you point them on the map and you show them like you are here, they would totally say that they are on the opposite side of
Yeah.
Iceland. Easily
Yeah.
if you tell them
Yeah.
this bullshit. One girl approached us in the Blue Lagoon and she asked us, can we turn on the northern lights for her?
What? Are you
It's-
kidding?
Honestly,
Oh my God.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah, yeah.
She
And-
thought it's a part of the experience in the
Yeah.
Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, and also like I've had these customers
my
in
God,
Flamwood,
that's-
and they've like when are the northern lights on? And I'm like,
Oh, that's
no,
crazy.
they just come whenever.
Yeah.
It's
when there's,
really
like, an
random.
extra-
Oh yeah. I
Oh
say
my
like I always say like okay, so it usually needs to be pretty cold,
Yeah.
no clouds. It
But
needs to
it
be
also
dark.
happens in August. You
Yeah,
know?
no,
They're
and
very
it's-
active
Yeah, but like in
September.
the
Much-
atmosphere, it needs to be cold.
Yeah.
Must
Like,
be brighter.
and it needs to be like no clouds. It needs to be dark, so you can't see it in the summer because in the summer you have daylight all the time.
Yeah.
and it needs to happen something like with the sun, like I don't remember, like solar.
I
Solar
was
storm.
just
Solar
watching
storm?
it yesterday. Yeah, it explains perfectly because there is like nitrogen and oxygen,
Yeah.
and it causes different colors after it matches and mixes
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
with the water in the air. So
Yeah.
also like crazy things, like the way that they explain it. I had to restart the whole video on YouTube. And I was like watching it 6 times in a row, trying to follow
Yeah.
the way it is, and I still cannot explain it perfectly. It's like the rainbow
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like-
crazy.
it's
Or
ba-
snowflakes.
Yeah, it's basically like you need to. There's a web page, like web pages online that like a northern light forecast.
Yeah.
And like they're here and they say like, oh, it's supposed to be northern lights, but it's fucking cloudy. You know,
Yeah.
you can't see it through the clouds.
Yeah, and
like-
whenever they ask, like, should I go on a Northern Light tour?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Because the thing is that we
Mm.
just need to get out of the city. If you already have a rental car, because a lot of them already have a rental car, I just recommend them to go to Þingvellir or to Havravat or somewhere out of the city.
Yeah.
Even Hafnarfjörður.
Yeah, Hafnarfjörður.
Yeah.
Our friends were.
But they just need to check out the cloud forecast.
Yeah.
And then of course, like if I have time, I usually just give them a link to the cloud forecast and the aurora forecast,
Yeah.
and then they can kind of like try and.
Track it, yeah.
But I don't want them to go every night and see, like, because it's not gonna happen, like
Yeah.
sometimes.
It's
It's
I,
obvious
I,
that
al-
it's
I
not
often
gonna
tell people like, you know, they need to like fill these like few requirements, but then after that it's pretty random. Like, you know, it's like maybe it's
Yeah.
tonight, maybe you will get it like every day for like 7 days,
Yeah.
and then
Or
you
maybe
won't
it's
get it
just
for a whole
15
month.
minutes.
And the window is like sometimes it's for like 1 minute and you can't see it the whole night, and sometimes it's like you have to wait for many hours and then it goes for like a whole hour or something. It's so
Yeah.
random,
It's
but
nature. It's
Sometimes-
not like,
yeah, it's like it's
it's not
so
like it's
weird.
a schedule. But
I know, and like
Is it?
the best, honestly though, the best. Oh my god, it's such a good. So this is quite funny. This is a Tinder story. So maybe 2, 3, at least 3 years ago, I think, like 2.5, maybe 3 years old. I got home from work. I was working in a catering business, and I was just finished. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock, and I was gonna show up like 8 in the morning. I was like, oh, it's so like busy, and I was like, oh man, I need a beer. Went to the fridge. I was like, oh fuck, the beer is finished, and you can't buy any liquor in Iceland after like 7 or something, whatever, 6. And
8 in Skaven.
yeah, exactly, on Fridays, and like. And I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday, and I was like, damn it, sat in front of the TV, like, got on my phone, and it was like, you have a match. So I was like, oh, cool, Tinder, guys. And there was this girl from Holland, and
Netherlands.
from Netherlands, yeah, Holland, Netherlands, you know, and I don't know, like, she said hey, and I was like, cool, hey, like, and then she was at Loft Hostel, the hostel downtown,
Yeah.
with her friends. She said like, come and have a beer. I was like, fuck, that sounds so good. I was just thinking about I wanted a beer, and I was like, okay.
Just like you the other day when we were like, dude, we're having beer, and then we were like, oh.
I was like, man.
I know
Yeah.
the feeling.
And like, I was like, okay, damn. So I went to meet her in Loft Hostel, and she was there with her one of her best friend in Netherlands. And also a couple of other people in the hostel, and they had a rental car, and they were like staying on the balcony, and like it was pretty cloudy, but they were like seeing the northern lights through the clouds,
Yeah.
and they were like, oh, where can we go to see the northern lights? And I went to Gróta.
Yeah.
It's like a place in the west, the west.
Lighthouse.
Yeah, there's a lighthouse in the west end of the city. It's a,
Spontanious.
yeah, something that's kind of. It's like a really nice place often to go, and like
I've
you can
been
see
there,
like.
and they're like in the parking where the cars can like.
Yeah, in the parking, like people do drugs, they have
Yeah.
sex, then
I've been
Oh.
to that place. Yeah.
or they look at the
there.
northern lights. It's like
Yeah.
3 reasons. Anyways though, like you can often see like the mountains and stuff. Like it's nice, it's really beautiful. But we didn't see anything. There were so many clouds, and it was freaking cold. And they were like, oh, like let's, like oh, it was cool. Like let's go back to the hostel. Or I was like, wait, I know maybe one place. Maybe it's like I know it's clouds everywhere. It looked like it, but we can go cave exploring, because Yeah, just next to where my dad used to live in Kópavogur is the beginning of Heiðmörk. No,
Jo, him.
yeah, Heiðmörk, yeah.
Mario Hedler.
Mario Hedler, I went straight there.
And
And,
I took my guy, like Jonathan and
My guy.
my guys.
Swedish
That's part
Yeah.
one.
And like it's a lava tube that collapsed, like
Yeah,
the
it's-
main one entrance, and like you can walk down and into both entrances.
there.
And like we went there,
Also-
it was snowing, and like it was quite nice.
Let's go there
it was quite
now.
awesome. Yeah, nobody's allowed to drive now.
No.
I only have one bottle of
Maybe in
wine.
Poland,
No.
but not here.
No.
But honestly, we went into the cave, and as soon as you got into the middle, like there's an opening there, like we looked up, and there was like it was like some kind of magic. I don't know. And the clouds like opened up right in front of us, and we saw the northern lights, and we were just standing there like,
Wow.
holy shit! And I was like, wow, that's crazy.